Good afternoon, good morning, and good night. I would just like to go through a list because let's talk about security and lifespan. So, people's security and their lifespan is dependent on the prices of things like banking, electricity, energy, all those, even phone networks. Because if it costs too much to live, then you can't buy healthy food and it's stressful and you lose your house and you become homeless and all sorts of bad things happen. So in Australia, since the 1990s, under the Liberals and both Labor, we privatised, let's see, Commonwealth Bank. Banking was owned by the people. I would call that sale dodgy. I think I wouldn't agree with that contract because the bank makes so much money now and the government sold it for like barely anything. So, no deal on that one. Qantas, that's pretty essential. Banking's pretty essential. Flying's pretty essential. Why did we privatize Qantas? Telstra, that's pretty essential. That's like internet and phones. Medibank, private. So health insurance, that's pretty essential. Why did we privatize that? CSL Limited. So that's like laboratories and science. Why did we privatize that? That's pretty essential. We need research into medical. Airports, that's pretty essential. We need airports and especially security. Can you really rely on a private company to secure an airport? And can you rely on the prices to stay good for the people? State governments. Victoria privatised the entire state electricity commission and gas utilities. South Australia privatised Electricity Trust of South Australia. New South Wales conducted the poles and wires sale of Ausgrid, Transgrid, and Endeavour Energy starting in 2015. Ports of Melbourne, Port of Botany, Port of Kembla, Port of Darwin were all leased to private operators. Rail, National Rail, and Freight Corp were sold in 2002. Queensland's rail coal business was privatised in 2010. Now Horizon. Land Titles Register, New South Wales, South Australia, Victoria, all privatised operations of their land titles and registry offices. Other services, the Tats Group, New South Wales Lotteries, was privatised. That's a bit strange. I didn't know we owned a lottery business. Vic Roads, registration and licensing, partially privatised in 2022. I wonder why it costs so much to pay for a license. Birth, deaths and marriages, Victoria privatised aspects of the registry. Uh, Dude, that's like our identities. It's privatised? What the heck? Uh, so we've privatised banks, phone companies, gas, electricity, ports, all our good infrastructure that we rely on. This is utilities. This is banking. This is really important stuff, guys. And the cost of living is going through the roof. So I think it's time the people reverse all these sales and have actual stuff owned by the people. What do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up if you think that we actually should own our own utilities, our own banks, and ports, and all the important things on our day-to-day living that really affect us.